Welcome to the first video on numerical methods. So in this video, we discuss about regular falsi method, which is a method to find root of an equation. So equation, as we know, it is an expression of the type f of x is equal to 0, where fx is any function in x. So if f of x is any function in x, an expression of the type f of x is equal to 0 is called as an equation. So these are few examples of equations. Here the first two equations contain the algebraic terms, the powers of x. So these are called as algebraic equations. And an equation which contains trigonometric, exponential, or logarithmic terms, then such equations are called as transcendental equations. The regular falsi method is applicable for both the kinds of equations. So you can use regular falsi method to find the root of algebraic equation as well as the transcendental equations. So as we know, root of an equation is nothing but the value x is equal to c, for which the function becomes 0, or any value of x which satisfies the given equation is called as root of an equation. So let us see this root geometrically. So as we know, any function in x represents a curve in the xy plane. So f of x represents a curve in the xy plane. So what will be the value of the function, value of f of x at this particular point? When the function f of x crosses x-axis at some point, so at that point the value of the function will be 0. So this point represents root of the given equation. So if x is equal to c is the root of an equation, then it is a point where the given function crosses x-axis. Now suppose there exist 2 points a and b, where f of a is the ordinate at the point a and f of b is the ordinate at the point b. Suppose f of a is positive and f of b is, say, negative. Then if you observe here, c belongs to the interval a comma b. So c belongs to the interval a comma b. So whenever there exist two numbers a and b such that f of a is positive and f of b is negative, then the root belongs to the interval a comma b. So this is also true if f of a is negative and f of b is positive. Since in that case the root will be in this fashion. So f of a is negative in that case and f of b will be positive. So in general, whenever there exist two numbers a and b such that either f a is positive and fb is negative, or f a is negative and fb is positive, so then the root c belongs to the interval a comma b. So both the cases can be put in the form, if there exist two numbers a and b such that the product fa into fb is negative, means one of them is positive and another one is negative. So if the product is negative, then the root belongs to the interval a comma b. So let us say what is regular falsi method? It is also known as method of false position. So here we want to find the root of an equation fx is equal to 0. So as we know, the function f of x represents a curve in the xy plane. Suppose it crosses x-axis at some point, so that point will be root of the given equation. Now our aim is to find this particular value of x. Suppose there exist two numbers a and b such that the product fa and fb is negative. So one of them is positive and another one is negative. So let me take fa is positive and fb is negative. Now with the help of a, b, and f of a and f of b, we want to arrive at the root. So we want to find this particular root. So here for that what I do is, so this ordinate at x is equal to a meets the given function at some point. So let me call that point as capital A. So whose coordinates will be a comma f of a. Similarly, the ordinate at the point B meets the curve at some point. Let me call that B as that point is capital B, whose coordinates will be B and f of B. Now, with the help of the points A and B, I want to find this particular root. So what we do in this case is we draw a line between A and B. So we draw a chord connecting A and B. So this chord intersects x-axis at some point. So let me take that point as the point P, whose x coordinate is C and y coordinate will be 0. So draw a chord AB which cuts x-axis at the point say P. So let me take the x coordinate at the point P is C. Since it is an x-axis, y coordinate will be 0. Now we'll see with the help of A and B, is it possible to find the value of this C? For that, let me find first the slope of AB. So we know the coordinates of the point A are A and f of A. Let me take them as x1, y1. Coordinates of the point B as x2, y2. So if I know the coordinates of both A and B, then the slope of AB is given by y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. That is f of B minus f of A divided by B minus A. So with the help of the same formula, let me find the slope of the line AP. So here the y coordinate will be 0 for the point P. So slope becomes y2 minus y1, that is 0 minus f of A divided by C minus A. Since the slope of AB and slope of AP both are one and the same, so let me equate both. So equate both the slopes. Now with cross multiplication and little simplification, find the value of C. So we get from this, if I simplify, I get C as A into f of B minus B into f of A divided by f of B minus f of A. So I know A and B, the function f of x is given, so we can calculate the value of C. So once you get the value of C, calculate f of C, find the value of f of C. So f of C will be either positive value or it will be a negative value. So f of C denotes the ordinate at the point C, so this length. So either this will be negative or it will be positive. So in this case, say f of C is negative. Now, so once you get f of C, then check the product fa and fc and the product f of c and f of b. So find the product fa and fc, check the sign of that product, whether it is positive or negative. In the same manner, find the product f of c and f of b, check the sign, whether it is positive or negative. So check the sign of fa into fc or fc into fb. If f of a into f of c is negative, if this product is negative, then the root belongs to the interval AC now. So we know already what is the value of C. If f of a and f of c, if this product is negative, then the root belongs to the interval AC. If not, if this product is not negative, then check the sign f of c and f of c into f of b. So if this product is negative, then the root belongs to C comma B. So root belongs to C comma B. So one of these cases are going to be true. Either FA into FC is negative or FC into FB is negative. If FA into FC is negative, the root belongs to the interval AC. If FC into FB is negative, then the root belongs to the interval CB. So in our case, the root is in the interval A comma C. So let me call that C as, say, C1. So C1 is A into f of b minus b into f of a divided by f of b minus f of a. We found f of C1, which is this length. Since this length is negative, fa and fc is negative, the product is negative, the root belongs to a comma C1. Now, I denote this C1, since the root is in a C1, so I discard the point B. So I call this C1 as now B. I rename C1 as B. So this length becomes f of B. So again, we get fa into fb is negative. The root belongs to the interval a comma b. So once again, repeat the same method. Now draw the chord AB once again with this new B. Draw the chord AB. It cuts x-axis at some point. Let me call that point as C2. Now using the same formula with new B or new interval AB, find the value of C2. So A into f of B minus B into f of A divided by f of B minus f of A. We get the value of C2. So once you find C2, find f of C2. So again, this f of C2 is going to be either positive or negative. So in this case, f of C2 is a negative value. That means f of A into f of C is negative. If f of A into f of C is negative, then the root belongs to the interval AC, that is AC2 in this case. So once you get a new interval AC2, now discard this B. So rename this C2 as new B. Now again, we get an interval AB in which the root lies. Now again, continue the same method. You get C3. C3 can be found using the same formula. So this method can be repeated. So with the help of AB, we got first C1. Then using C1, we got C2. Using C2, we got C3 and so on. So if you see here, we are going from this point B towards the exact root. See, if this method is continued for few number of steps, finally we arrive at the exact root. But how do we know that we arrived at the exact root? So once you find C1, C2, C3 and so on, parallelly we find f of C1, f of C2 and so on. So after a few steps, what will happen is we get f of, say, Cn approximately equal to 0. So f of Cn is approximately equal to 0 means Cn will be the approximate root. So Cn will be the root of the given equation. If we get f of Cn exactly equal to 0, then Cn will be the exact root of the given equation. Otherwise, if it is close to 0, then Cn will be the approximate root of the given equation. So this method is called as regular falsi method or method of false position. So what we do in this method is, first we find out two numbers A and B such that fa and fb is negative. The product fa into fb is negative. So in that case, we get the root in the interval a comma b. Then draw the chord AB. So it cuts x-axis at some point, say C1. Then C1 can be found using the formula A into f of b minus b into f of a divided by fb minus fa. Then find f of C1. Then check the product fa into f of c and f of c into f of b. So whichever the product is negative, the root belongs to the corresponding interval. Then repeat the same process. After a few steps, we arrive at the required root. So we'll stop here. In the next video, we'll see a few examples on regular falsi method. Thank you.